Hi guys, welcome to my channel, and today we are going to talk about the assignments for June 2025 cycle. So the subject today which we are going to cover is organizational behavior. So in this video we are going to cover which page numbers to be referred from the book, what content you need to write, and after that I will share you one sample assignment which is almost the perfect one to secure the maximum marks. So let's talk about step by step. Firstly, I think on almost 15 to 17 days are left for the submission of your assignments. The clock is tick tick on. You will see it ticking on your portal. So from this, you will come to know that how many days, how many even minutes, how many seconds are left in submission of your assignments. So guys, if I talk about a general practice, then normally one assignment is have covering the three questions, 1, 2A and 2B, and each question normally took 3 to 4 hours if you prepare it on your own. It's not only you need to refer to the book, you need to refer a number of sources, a number of internet tutorials, and guys, try to prepare the assignments on your own. A couple of things which I'm going to mention in this video, definitely that will be helpful for you. So let's start with the assignment. So this is the assignment. If you see, NMIMS and JCDOE for the course organizational behavior June 2025 cycle, right? A few instructions are given. I would request you all to just go through this. Like, all questions carry equal marks. Questions are mandatory. The first question covers 1000 words, second and second be around 500 words. 500 words, you need to use relevant examples, illustration as much as possible. Answer the questions in your own words. Do not discuss, do not do the group work, otherwise you all will get the copy case. I think I already mentioned the copy case, the plagiarism stuff in the previous videos. Like, if you share your video with your share the assignment with your friends, then there is a chances that if both are submitting the same assignment, or there is a similarity between both the assignment, then both will get the copy case. Or if you just use exactly the same content from the internet, then it falls under plagiarism. More than 10 to 15 plagiarism, 15% will again lead to a copy case. So guys, just make sure that write it in your own words and do not share it with your friends. uh, you can refer to the book. Internet is like an open book. You can refer anything, but not allowed to copy the matter as it is from the source of reference. That is a very important line for the plagiarism. Students should write the assignments in their own words. Copying from others is not allowed. You should follow the following parameter. So I already discussed, like for theoretical, we have the introduction, concept, and conclusion. 20%, 60%, and 40%. For the numerical, it's the formula. 20% procedure and step by step. Mentioning is 60% and correct answer is 20%. So even if you are writing the wrong answer but steps and formula is correct, then you will score the 80%, right? So don't think that okay, even if you think that okay, I just only write the answer in the two lines, then only you will get the 20% marks. One important thing is the assignment is an application based, so you need to put your brains, you need to think through your real life scenario. It's not like there's a direct question, you just refer to the book and you just write the answer and everything is sorted out. No, you need to put your brains, you need to think through that if this scenario or this happens in you or in your company, then how will you cope up and how you will uh, behave in that particular situation, right? So let's start with the questions one by one. So I will be explaining the question. After that, I will be mentioning that what the question is all about. Then we will see that what needs to be written in the answer. Then I will show you one sample answer. I think that would serve your purpose. And obviously, I would recommend all the students. And the reason of starting these videos is that student should prepare the answers on their own. But suppose if you are facing struggling in typing the answers, or you are not getting enough time, then just feel free to contact me. I will help you out with the alternate solutions. So let's start with the first question. Rahul is a young entrepreneur who recently started a tech startup for educational apps. He is imaginative and often comes up with the innovative ideas, but his plans lacks detail and structure. His team appreciated his enthusiasm and collaborative approach, but he struggles to give the critical feedback. During a product launch, Rahul became anxious about the meeting expectations, which affected his decision making under pressure. Despite these challenges, his curiosity and willingness to learn keep him motivated. He realizes he needs to improve his leadership skills to grow his startup. Now the question comes, under the Big Five model of personality, evaluate the Rahul's personality traits and the impact on the effectiveness as a leader. Suggest or strategies to enhance his leadership style while leveraging his strengths. How can he engage his team more effectively? So, guys, there are a couple of things which you need to take care while writing the answer. See, we are talking about a startup company, fine. Rahul is a young entrepreneur, or you can say he's a leader, right? He has a couple of positive skills. If I talk about the positive skills, then we are talking about the imaginative, we are talking about enthusiasm, we are talking about collaborative approach, we are talking about curiosity and willingness. These are the positive skills. If I talk about the negative part, then he is lacking the detail and the structure. He struggles to give the critical feedback. he he is it's difficult to work under the pressure because his decision making capability will impacted. So we need to talk about the big five model of personality and talk about in context to the Rahul. Then we need to suggest the strategies to enhance his leadership styles and how he can engage his team more effectively and in a better manner. So firstly we will see that what context you need to write from the book. So this is the question. The page numbers which you can refer is page number 351, 126 and 128. So 351, just quickly jumping to the page number 351, I think on page number, sorry, on the book. So this is the book, and if we go to the 361, so we are talking about theories of leadership. So firstly we need to give introduction about the what are the leadership, what are the different theories. Maybe you can write one or two line, or you can skip that part. Just give a brief introductory about the leadership. Then we need to talk about the five factor theory. So just going to the page number 126. So going to the page number 126, here it's being mentioned. Just going to the page number 126. So page numbers which I'm going to refer is page number of the book, page 126 of the organizational behavior, right? So here we are talking about the big five theory. Here we are talking about OCEAN, which you call it as the ocean, right? Openness to experience, consciousness, extroversion, agreeable, and neuroticism, right? Then after that we need to talk about the personality traits affecting the organizational behavior. So you can relate the same with the theory. So risk taking capacity, self motivating, type A personality, self esteem, and McLeverism, right? Introversion and extroversion. So these are the couple of things. Maybe you can just skip or mention all of things. It's purely your call, right? And last but not the least, you need to relate the same with the case study. Now let's see what I have just prepared the answer. So this is the answer. The one important thing is the answer should be very clear. Like as a layman, if you are viewing this answer, how comfortable you are in reading the answers, because it is being gone through the AI as well as a manual team will evaluate these questions. So if it is very easy to read, then definitely the chances of scoring marks, high marks, will definitely increase, right? So I have just covered firstly introduction. In introduction I just gave brief about the leadership. Then second is concept and application, where if you see the font size, so again these are 14, the headers and rest all the content is the 12, right? The big five theory, in big five theory is openness to the experience. Then I'm just mentioning both the stuff. Maybe you can just write it separately: impact on the leadership and strategy for the improvement. Second is consciousness, again impact on leadership and strategy for improvement with respect to the Rahul. Extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. So I have just mentioned all of these things. Then next is how we can enhance the team management, increasing the open communication, clear roles, fostering the professionalism. I have not mentioned all, but just pick couple of these things. And last but not the least, about the conclusion for improving the Rahul in terms of his personal traits, right? So this is all I have mentioned in this question. And if you see the number of words, so it's 948. If you see at the town, it's 948. So again, it's within 1000 words plus minus 10% is 900, falling within the limit line. So the first question is good to go. So this way you can just write your first answer. Now moving to the second question. The second question talks about, in second we are having two parts, 2 and 2b, right? So each question is of 500 words. Nisha is a talented graphic designer working at a marketing agency. She recently discovered that her colleague, who has a similar qualification and experience, receive a higher salary despite having a comparable workload. This realization has left Nisha feeling demotivated and less enthusiastic about her projects. She starts putting in less effort and avoids taking an additional responsibility as she feels her contributions are not being valued equally. Using equity theory of motivation, analyze the Nisha's reaction to the pay disparity. How can her manager address this situation to restore her motivation and productivity? This is a very common thing. Then that's why it's clearly mentioned that the salary slips and the financials, you can't share it among the organization. It's against the policies. It happens very commonly. Like if you are having a 10 years of experience and your colleague is also having the 10 years of experience and both are getting a quite different salary, like one is getting suppose 1 lakh and the second person is getting around 1.4 lakh, then you can think that okay, we both are doing the same stuff, we both are at the same level, we both are having the same qualification, same experience, then why he's getting 1.4 and I'm getting 1 lakh? Definitely this leads you a little bit demotivated and you start avoiding putting your extra efforts to the projects. You do your normal job, but the motivation will finally lag, right? Because you're not getting, you can say, the rewards for your efforts. The other person is getting the higher salary. And it's not about the salary. Sometimes you get appreciation, you get some awards, means your colleague, and you are not able to get those despite you both are doing the same stuff. So this happens very frequently in the organizations. So the same thing is being the ask of the question, and we need to refer about the equity theory of motivation, right? How Nisha's reaction about the pay disparity. So firstly we need to talk about the motivation, that is very important. So if I go to the page number 235, so it's somewhere around 235. So I am just going to the page number 235. So firstly we need to talk about motivation. What is the motivation? Why this is important? You can give a brief about this. Then we need to talk about the equity theory, Adams equity theory, which is being mentioned on page number 231. So here is being mentioned J. Stacy Adams equity theory, where we are talking about what is equity theory, what are the different components, input, output, comparison. See, the last important part is the comparison, where you compare the input to the outcome with the peer group. Both are doing the same job, then why it's being compared? It's being compared, and the comparison will go to the negative side, which leads to a low motivation levels. Comparing reward levels, this is the ask of the question where it is being asked. So you need to refer to this content. And lastly we need to relate the same with the case study where we are talking about the Nisha's, who is a graphic designer. So let's see what I have answered in this question. So second day, firstly I am talking about the number of word count. So word count is somewhere around, if I am not wrong, it's 500 words, 538. It's within my limit, 500 to 550. It's good to go, right? So what I have written, so firstly I just give an introduction. As I mentioned, we are talking about the motivation. Then we talk about the equity theory of motivation, right? And then relate the same with this Nisha's perception, behavioral responsibles, and restoring the equity. Because firstly we need to talk about inequality, then we talk about its outcomes and how we can restore it. Go to the step by step. What's the input? What's the output? And how the comparison is happening, right? Then managerial strategies. What are the strategies? It's a fair evaluation, open communication, compensation adjustment, no monetary recognition, as I talk about the awards and other things, promotions, and establish the transparency P policies. And last is the conclusive part. So this you can relate it with the Nisha's case. One important thing, if you have seen, after every question I just use a page break, right? The second question, like first question is on the new page, the second question is again on the new page, because this improves the clarity. If you are reading, I'm just reducing this, it's very clear to read. Introduction, then concept, I have put it the bold. You will be able to understand it if I have written. And that's the tips to secure the more marks. Sometimes content is not a major factor. The major factor is how you are presenting the stuff, right? I think you already just gone through the business communication in which you will come to know how you need to write all this stuff. But definitely for assignments also, you need to take care of this stuff, that it should be more presentable. Definitely, if I just don't put it bold, I just put it in the paragraph format, readability will be low, and chances of securing less marks, maybe sometimes you will get 2 or 3 less marks if you are putting the same answer, but the presentation part is different, right? Now just moving to the last question quickly, the second P. In second B, we are having a question about the two senior project managers, Amit and Priya, in a consulting firm, frequently disagree on the project execution strategies. Amit prefers a structured, process driven approach, while Priya prefers a flexibility and adaptability. The ongoing conflict are delaying the project timelines and creating tension. The manager notices this issue and want to intervene. Analyze the nature of the conflict between Amit and Priya using the conflict management technique. Which technique would you be more effective in resolving this conflict and why? Justify your answer with the logical reasoning. So guys, it happens very normally. If they are the two different managers or the team leads who are working in a same project, the strategy of working of both will be quite different. Some follows a waterfall model. If you are from the technical background, you will be able to understand that what's the waterfall model, where we talk about the sequential steps, while some prefers the agile on the scrum part, where the changes will come, they just incorporate and deliver it to back to the client. So every person has a different thought and way of pursuing the projects. So here it happens, and in this question also, the conflict is happening between the two team leads, and the supervisor, like the manager, wants to intervene. Now we need to talk about that what are the different conflict management techniques, how we can resolve this conflict, what is the best conflict resolving technique in this case, right? So firstly we need to firstly what we need to write brief about the conflict management techniques. What is the best technique? Now if I talk about, there are 5 techniques. I'm not saying that a person A is writing the technique A, then the second person also writing the same technique. It's purely your call. Whatever you feel your personal perspective is, you can mention it the best technique and relate the same with the case study. Page numbers 255 and 262. So firstly we will see the page numbers. So page number 255, what is the type of conflict? We need to give about the different conflicts. It's not mandate to just write all of these: intrapersonal, interpersonal, intergroup. It's, you can skip this part, nothing to worry. Then most important thing is you need to go to the page number 262, and we are talking about the Thomas Skillman conflict model, right? So here we are talking about these 5 key management techniques: competition, collaboration, avoidance, accommodation, and compromise. Right? Every person is having a different thought in writing these. Like somebody will prefer for a competition, while others say, okay, I don't want any competition. I can just simply say I want to avoid this. Somebody say, okay, I just want to accommodate. Somebody say, okay, I am ready to compromise. There is not an issue. I am ready to just give up the things. So these are the 5 the conflict management strategies. You can choose anyone in the question where Amit and Priya are having the conflict. Manager wants to resolve the conflict between Amit and Priya. I think Amit and Priya. Yeah, Amit and Priya. So what answer I have written, just quickly show you. So firstly I just give a brief about the conflict, then nature of the conflict, avoidance where you are ignoring the conflict, accommodation means to maintain the harmony, you are just one party yields to the other, competition it insists the approach where either win or lose, compromise it's like a middle battle round, and collaboration is both work with the common mutual decision. I personally feel the collaboration is the best one, and this is the diagram. The diagram gives a more impact even if I just skip this one, but if you are just putting the diagram, you just use insert and you can just put the shapes and you can just prepare the 4 boxes, it will give you the diagram, or you can just uh, copy it from somewhere, but I would suggest to prepare it on your own. Then most effectively for me it's a collaboration. if you are writing anything like out of 5 you say collaboration is the best one, you need to provide its positive parts. It liberates strength, promote open communication, it enhances the team performance and the long term solution. How you can implement this? It's a decision. You can work on the common goals, you can develop a common strategy, regular feedbacks, and establishing the clear roles between the Amit and uh, Priya. Last is the conclusion, where we talk about the different, it's just summary and in a nutshell which we are talking about in the question. So you just put the conclusion. Again, if I talk about this answer, I think I just tried to put it within my limit, and it's coming somewhere around 522 words. The overall uh, word count of this particular word document is 2017. First is 1000 words, second is 500, 500. So it's within my range, right? 2000 words. So if you are writing it into 1800 words and 2200 words, the chances of securing the marks is the highest. And this is the pattern how you can just write your answers. So I think it's pretty much clear. I have covered all this process. What's the question? Give your brief. What needs to be written? What pages to be referred? And one sample assignment. Still, if you face any issue, any challenges, you can just feel free to just connect to me at ngascmba.cdu@gmail.com, or you can just email on my alternate email ID ngasc.mba@gmail.com, or you can just connect me over the LinkedIn, or you can just share me the message over the WhatsApp. I would be happy to help you. So guys, if you like this video, do like, do comment and stay connected to my coming videos. Thank you so much.